Hey guys, how's it going? It's Matt here from the Brill team. I know you're stuck inside, so I figured I would show you all how to make the Shapiro's family secret cheesecake recipe. Some of you may know, we used to have a bakery. I had a bakery in my family for about 25 years, and this was one of our big sellers. So here we go. Okay, so this is what we're gonna need. We're going to need a springform pan, and this is a little trick over here. This is a piece of cardboard that I cut out and covered it in tin foil. That you gotta cut out using the springform pan as a template, and it's gonna go at the bottom like that. And the reason for that is, if anybody's made a cheesecake before, this is a fantastic trick. If you put this right at the bottom, it's gonna go above the release line over here for the springform. And this way you don't have to fight with your crust at the bottom ripping off when you try and flip it over and take it. You have a built-in base for your pan. Next, we are going to need a cup and a half of sugar, a half a teaspoon of lemon juice, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is gonna be a little bit of Crisco, some shortening just for the edges around the springform pan. We're gonna need some cream cheese, 250 grams. We'll need 4 packages like this, just cut up into cubes, and 4 eggs. For the crust, you can use Oreo baking crumbs or you can use graham. You'll need 1.5 cups, 6 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon. Another secret to making cheesecake, you've got to bake it over some pans of water. You need moisture in the oven so that the cheesecakes won't crack, or at least won't crack too bad. They might still crack. Don't worry, we can always cover up cracks with some topping. Anyway, so what we need to do is we need to put our oven at 350. We need to put those 2 pans on the bottom rack, and the top rack is where we are going to bake our cheesecake. Take your water, you want to pour it into the pan over here, 1 pan, and then put about the same amount, about half full. All right, so right now I'm just going to put some shortening at the bottom of the pan over here on top of our little cake pan that we made. And of course, some on the sides of the springform pan. Just gonna grease it up nicely so it'll release easy. Perfect. We're gonna start putting our ingredients into the mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you can always use a hand blender or a food processor, whatever you need or whatever you've got to really mix this on a pretty high speed. I like to use the KitchenAid. I like to use a paddle mixer. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put about half of the cream cheese in, and we are going to put in slowly a cup of sugar. What we're gonna do now is we are gonna turn on our mixer on low and add in some sugar, about half of it. There we go. It's gonna form right around the paddle, and we're gonna start scraping that down as we add in more cream cheese. Scrape the cheese and sugar mix down into the bowl, and then we're gonna add in the rest of our cream cheese and sugar. Good job, Levi. Now we're gonna add in the rest of our cream cheese. Beautiful, and we are going to take the rest of the sugar and mix it in the same way we just did before. Bring the head down, lock it, turn it on, add in our sugar. Keep going, yeah. Beautiful, let that spin for a few minutes. Okay, now we're gonna scrape this whole mixture down again. And next we are going to add in our eggs. So we've got 4 eggs over here. You wanna crack them All right, next we're gonna take the eggs. Don't beat them. Just slowly pour them in with the mixer on. There we go, that's in. And next we're gonna add in the rest of our sugar. Let that mix. And now we're gonna take our lemon juice and our vanilla extract, and we're gonna pour that in. And we're gonna speed up the mixer. There we go. Let that mix. Let that blend. We're gonna throw it on high for a minute. Get the lumps out. And then we're gonna stop it, and then we're gonna scrape down our bowl. You wanna scrape down the bowl. What you want is a nice creamy mixture. So we're gonna just scrape down the bowl, nice and clean on the sides. And then we're gonna whip it again until it's nice and smooth. All the way up, all the way up. Whip that for a little bit until it's nice and creamy. And most important right now, what do we have to do, Levi?
Taste
We've gotta
it.
taste it. All right, here we go. Now here's our mix. It's all blended up, nice and creamy. Next thing we're gonna do, we are going to start working on our crust. All right, next we're gonna take the crumbs to make our mix. You're gonna take the 1.5 cups of crumbs and our sugar and the cinnamon, a few sprinkles of cinnamon. All right, that looks good. And now the butter that we melted, we're gonna pour that all in. And we are gonna mix that all together with a fork. Fold it all together. Continue mixing so that it's all one even paste. No dry spots. Oh, it looks great. Next, we're gonna take our cookie crumb mix and we're gonna put it into our springform pan. Scoop it all in, and once it's all in, we're going to take a cup or something with a nice flat bottom and we're gonna stamp it down so it's nice and even at the bottom. Spread the crumbs around the bottom of the pan nice and evenly before we stamp them down. Now you want to stamp it down with your cup, nice and even, stamp. Now we want to just pour the mix in. Scrape our bowl down. All in there, you want to give it a nice shake. Make sure it's nice and even. Clean up the edges. And now we've got it all ready and it's time to put it into the oven. the center. And we want to set our timer 45 minutes. Cake has been in the oven for 45 minutes now. It's starting to look really nice, getting a little goldeny by the edges and still jiggly in the center. Let me just show you. Shake it around, you'll see it's a little bit jiggly. So that's what we want. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna shut the oven off, shut the heat off, and we're gonna leave the cheesecake in the oven, just cracked open slightly for another hour. Got my oven door cracked open just a hair, and I'm gonna reset the timer for 60 minutes. Whoopsie. There we go. It's been sitting in the oven for an hour with the heat off. Time to take it out and have a look. Whoa, look at that beauty. Fantastic. Look at that. Okay, we can now pop open our spring form. Separate that. And voila. Is that gorgeous or what? Now, you can either put it in the fridge and let it chill for an hour before you put on toppings, or you can do it right now and then put it in the fridge to chill. Either way. Okay, so toppings. You can get as creative as you want here. You can make your own topping, or like me, you can just buy your topping, and I like the President's Choice Dulce de Leche. It goes great with the cheesecake, and of course some fruit on top. So what you want to do is just scoop it out, spread a nice thick layer on top. If you've got cracks, you can fill up the cracks with the topping and then do a nice thick layer over top of that, and then put your fruit on top. And then you want to take that and put it into the fridge to chill for a couple hours before you serve it. And voila, here we have it. One Shapiro's Bagel King famous cheesecake. Enjoy.